Welcome to the Deep Dive. We cut through the noise, get straight to the point. And today, we're tackling something that's really changing the game in music. Think about your playlist for a second. Is that song you love human-made? Maybe AI-assisted? Or is it entirely generated by AI? The lines are getting seriously blurry. So yeah, in this deep dive, we're jumping headfirst into the world of artificial intelligence in music. It's fascinating. It's complicated, sometimes pretty controversial too. Our mission today, to figure out how AI is already changing how music gets made, how we listen to it, even who owns it. We've got some surprising facts, and we'll look at the amazing opportunities, but also the big challenges.
Absolutely. And it's moving so incredibly fast. We've pulled together insights from all over the place, really. You've got musicians. Then there are industry reports from groups like SciSac, that's the International Confederation of Societies of Authors and Composers, and market analysts like market.us. We're also digging into the legal side, looking at how streaming giants, independent artists, everyone is kind of grappling with this tech. So we'll cover, the cool creative tools, but also the big copyright fights and what it all means for the music you actually hear every day.
Right. It's not just tech talk, is it? It's about the soundtrack to our lives and, well, how that soundtrack is being written literally right now. Okay, so let's start with the creative side, the revolution you called it. How is AI actually making music? What's it doing in the studio, so to speak?
Well, at its heart, AI learns by listening a lot. It analyzes these huge data sets, millions and millions of songs. It looks at chord progressions, melodies, rhythms. It's basically learning the grammar, the language of music. And once it has that understanding, these deep learning algorithms can start generating new stuff, new beats, harmonies, even, whole tracks. It's like teaching it to speak music.
Wow, okay. Learning the language of music. So when we talk about big names, like legends even, how are they using it? Is it like a hidden collaborator?
Yeah, collaborator is a good word for it. Björn Ulvaeus from ABBA, he's been pretty open about it. He said he's using AI like another songwriter in the room for a new musical. But he's also clear, he says it's lousy at writing a whole song or lyrics on its own. It's more about getting ideas. He even made a joke that the AI is quicker and does exactly what you tell it, unlike his bandmate Benny Anderson. But yeah, it's more of an idea starter, a prompt, not really a replacement for the human writer.
An idea generator.
Yeah.
I like that. Doesn't sound quite as scary, maybe. But if it's good at sparking ideas, what about originality and accessibility?
Exactly. And that's a huge point. It really does sort of democratize things. You've got tools now like Suno, AI, Udio. You can literally type in a text prompt and get a whole song back, vocals included. This isn't totally brand new either. Remember Sony's Flow Machines? They had that song Daddy's Car years ago. Apparently 82% of people who heard it couldn't tell it wasn't written by a human.
82%.
Wow.
That shows how far it's come.
Yeah, it really does. These tools are powerful and they're getting into more hands.
And it's not just the composing part, right? You mentioned it helps with the less glamorous bits of making music too.
Definitely. Think about mixing and mastering. That's crucial stuff, but it can be time-consuming, expensive. Now you have platforms like Landar, CloudBounce. They automate a lot of that optimization. We're seeing, nearly 30.6% of artists using AI just for mastering their tracks.
That's for mastering, okay.
And even during the mixing stage, there are tools like Spike AI. It listens to your track, gives you suggestions for clarity. Apparently, it was even trained on data from a human engineer. It just makes that professional sound much more achievable for, say, an independent artist.
Okay, this next bit is where it gets, really interesting. Maybe a bit unsettling, too. AI isn't just creating music, it's mimicking voices. Artists' voices, living ones, even artists who've passed away.
Voice cloning. Deepfakes. That's the territory we're in now. AI can learn a singer's voice from recordings, the tone, the cadence, the little unique things, and replicate it with, frankly, startling realism. It uses these deep learning algorithms trained on often just the vocal tracks. It's so good that there's an upcoming biopic about Edith Piaf, and they're using an AI-generated version of her voice for it.
An AI Edith Piaf.
Yeah, that's wild.
So are artists themselves playing with this, or is it mostly happening to them?
Both, actually. Some artists are embracing it, trying to control it. Holly Herndon is a great example. She created something called Holly Plus Star. It's a machine learning model trained purely on her own voice. So basically, she can allow others to use her voice, generated by the AI, but under her terms. It's about agency.
Taking control, okay.
But then you also have platforms like Voice Stars. They let users generate vocals using models trained on famous voices. Think Drake, Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish. It opens up a whole world of fan creations, covers, remixes, and, well, potential problems too.
Yeah, I can see that. Given all these capabilities, are certain types of music jumping on this faster than others? Is there a pattern?
It's really interesting, actually. Electronic music seems to be leading the way, about 54% adoption. Then hip-hop is right behind it at 53%. And advertising music is also high, 52%.
Electronic, hip-hop, advertising?
Yeah.
Why those, do you think?
Well, electronic and hip-hop have always been genres that embrace technology, sampling, digital tools. It's kind of in their DNA, maybe. Advertising, well, efficiency and cost-effectiveness are probably big drivers there. But it shows AI isn't hitting everywhere at once. It's finding fertile ground where the culture is already open to digital experimentation. We might be hearing whole new sounds emerge from those scenes first.
Okay, so AI is changing how music is made, how it sounds, even whose voice we might be hearing. But what about the ripple effects? For the artists, for the industry's bank accounts?
Yeah, if you zoom out, these tech leaps change everything. Who gets to make music? How does it get funded? Who actually makes money from it? Like we said, it's democratizing creation. Barriers are coming down. An independent artist, maybe working in their bedroom, can now make something that sounds really professional without needing a big studio or, years of traditional training.
And people are actually using these tools.
Oh, yeah. The numbers show it. 60% of musicians are using AI tools in some way. And if you look at younger creators, under 35, over half, 51%, are actively using AI in their workflow. It's becoming generational. And those platforms we mentioned, like Voice Stars, they position themselves as a cost-effective alternative to hiring session musicians or producers. It just makes putting out high-quality music cheaper and faster.
Cheaper, faster, more accessible. That sounds good for the artist. But what about the established industry? Are jobs changing or disappearing?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? will.i.am had a pretty bold take on this. He thinks the actual musicians and hyper-creatives will be fine. They'll use AI as a tool, he says, to reinvent and create a whole new industry. Who does he think is at risk? The intermediaries.
Yeah.
Managers, label execs, finance auditors, attorneys, basically roles that an AI co-pilot could potentially handle more efficiently.
Okay, so a shift in which jobs are needed. What about the overall market? Is it growing because of AI?
Growing! It's exploding. The global AI in music market was valued at $2.9 billion in 2024. The projection, a massive $38.71 billion by 2033.
Whoa, that's huge.
It is, and they reckon AI-generated music alone could boost industry revenue by over 17% by next year, 2025. It's a gold rush in tech terms.
But wait, if the market's booming that much, surely the artists are benefiting too. Or is it more complicated?
That's where it gets really complicated and frankly concerning. You have these huge growth numbers for the market overall, but then you look at reports from organizations like SciSac. They're warning that musicians, songwriters, the actual creators, they could lose almost a quarter of their income to AI by 2028 if things aren't regulated properly.
A quarter? How?
Well, one analysis from a firm called Gold Media puts it starkly. They predict a potential 27% revenue drop for music creators by 2028 unless there's fair compensation. They call it a transfer of economic value from creators to AI companies.
The money's flowing, but maybe not to the people making the music.
That seems to be the big fear. The value is potentially shifting towards the tech platforms and away from the human talent unless new systems are put in place.
Okay, so that naturally leads to, are there new systems emerging? New models trying to fix this imbalance?
There are attempts, yeah. You're seeing things like dedicated AI music labels. They represent virtual artists, entirely digital creations. A company called All Music Works claims to be the first label exclusively for AI artists. They operate way cheaper, faster, no tour buses needed,
Virtual artists.
Yeah.
Wow. What else?
There's also innovation in funding. Decentralized models like Tangy Market, it lets people buy fractional shares in song royalties. So fans, small investors, they can own a tiny piece of a song. And another company, Roy-Fi Inc., offers artists advances but lets them keep 100% of their rights. That's a big difference from traditional label deals where artists often sign away ownership to get that upfront money.
Right, getting an advance without selling your soul, essentially.
Kind of, yeah. It's trying to rebalance that power dynamic.
This all bumps right up against some really tough questions, doesn't it? Ownership, authenticity, what's fair, Copyright has got to be a nightmare here.
Oh, it's a huge mess, a massive gray area. Because, simply put, our current copyright laws, things like the Berne Convention, they just weren't built for this. They mostly hinge on the idea of human authorship.
Human authorship. So if an AI makes it.
Exactly. Who's the author? Is it the AI? The person who wrote the prompt, the company that built the AI. The U.S. Copyright Office, for instance, generally says you need significant human creative input for copyright protection. But how much is significant? That's going to be fought out in court probably for years.
And the stuff the AI learns from, that copyrighted music it analyzes, that's another issue, right?
A massive one. Probably the biggest ethical flashpoint right now. These AI models are trained on truly vast amounts of data, and a lot of that data is copyrighted music, scraped without permission or payment. It's so contentious that Amber Newton-Rex, who was a VP at Stability AI, actually resigned over it. He called it unauthorized use of creators' work.
And artists are pushing back.
Overwhelmingly. Surveys show 95% of artists want transparency. They want to know if their work was used to train an AI, and 90% believe AI companies should have to get permission first. And it's not just theoretical. Around 21% of creators say they've already run into copyright strikes when using AI-generated content. So the clashes are happening now.
A legal minefield, like you said. But beyond the strict legal stuff, there's that really personal element, the voice deepfakes, that heart on my sleeve track really blew things up, didn't it?
It really did. That was 2023. A track comes out, sounds exactly like Drake in The Weeknd, but it wasn't them. It goes viral, gets submitted for a Grammy, though they rejected it later. Universal Music had to step in and get it taken down.
A watershed moment, people called it.
Yeah, because it made the threat or the possibility incredibly real and public. Your voice. That's maybe the most unique personal part of an artist's identity. And here's tech that can just replicate it. The law is playing catch up, big time.
And it's not just about fake tracks of famous people, right? You mentioned Kanye and Playboi Carti facing accusations about their own voices.
Right. Accusations that they might have used AI deepfakes of themselves on recent tracks, maybe to hit certain notes or achieve a certain sound. So it complicates the idea of authenticity even further. Is it still them if it's an AI version?
But it's not all negative, is it? There was that Randy Travis story that felt different.
Absolutely. That's the other side of the coin. Randy Travis, the country legend, he had a stroke years ago, couldn't sing anymore. But in 2024, he released a new song where that came from. They used AI, trained on dozens of his old recordings, combined with input from another singer, all guided by human producers to recreate his voice. It allowed him to share new music again. It was incredibly poignant, a really positive use of the tech for legacy, for connection.
So the industry must be completely torn on this. Some artists horrified, others maybe seeing potential.
Completely divided. You had that open letter signed by over 200 massive names, Billie Eilish, Stevie Wonder, Katy Perry, Paul McCartney, Elton John, Sting, basically saying AI music generation is theft, it's stealing our copyright, and it could destroy the industry. A really strong denouncement.
Wow, that's a heavy list.
But then you have artists like Grimes who actually encourage people to use an AI model of her voice, asking for a royalty split. And will.i.am, again, seeing AI as a creative partner, a mirror. And there are people trying to find a middle ground. Julia Rowan from PRS for Music, that's a UK collecting society, she makes a good point. She says we need to distinguish between assistive AI tools that help a human create and generative AI that makes the whole thing.
Assistive versus generative.
Right. She argues that if AI is just used for inspiration and then a human transforms it creatively, that's different. It's nuanced. It's not black and white.
So where did that leave us? Calls for rules, labels.
Yeah, there's a big push for regulation, for laws that would force AI developers to disclose what music their models were trained on. Transparency, basically. And the idea of AI transparency labels on streaming platforms so listeners know if AI was involved.
Okay, let's just focus slightly. What about us, the listeners? All this tech, all these debates. How is it actually changing how we find music, how we listen?
Well, for listeners, the biggest impact right now is probably hyper-personalization. You know those playlists Spotify or Apple Music make for you, the recommendations? That's all AI. Sophisticated algorithms analyzing everything you listen to, skip, save, to build a profile and feed you more of what it thinks you'll like. And it works, apparently. A huge number, 74% of internet users, say they've used AI to discover new music.
74%. That's almost everyone online. And Spotify's doing even more, right? With that AI DJ.
Yeah, they're really leaning into it. The AI DJ tries to be like a personalized radio host, playing music it picks for you and even adding some commentary. And they have AI playlists now, too. You can type in a mood, an activity, even a weird phrase like, The example they used was an indie folk playlist to give my brain a big, warm hug. And it generates a custom playlist for you.
A warm hug playlist. I might need that later.
Right. And remember, Spotify Wrapped, the end of your summary everyone shares. For 2024, they added an AI-powered podcast feature that actually discussed your listening habits with you. It's all about using AI to make discovery easier, deeper, more engaging.
Deeper engagement. Okay. Beyond just finding songs, are there other ways AI might change the fan experience? More interactive things, maybe?
Definitely looking ahead, yes. People are talking about true fan co-creation. Imagine being able to take a song and choose an AI version of, say, Rihanna or Billie Eilish to sing it, just for you, personalizing the performance itself.
Okay, that's pretty futuristic.
Or generating music based on your real-time mood. Feeling stressed? Tell an AI to create something gentle and comforting. Need energy? Ask her something upbeat. Music that adapts to you. And maybe the most profound application could be in therapy. AI music therapy. Imagine systems that create adaptive compositions based on your actual biofeedback, your heart rate, your brain activity designed specifically for stress relief or emotional balance, using music not just for enjoyment, but for targeted well-being.
Wow. From playlist hugs to actual biofeedback therapy. That's quite a range.
It really is. Which brings us back to the core point, I think. This deep dive, it really shows that AI in music isn't just some passing trend. It's fundamental. It's changing everything. It's this incredibly powerful force, often polarizing, you know. It offers these amazing new tools for making music, finding music, but it also throws up these huge challenges to what we even mean by creativity, artists' rights, how people make a living.
Yeah, the market's booming. The tech is absolutely mind-blowing, but the arguments, the debates, they're really just getting started, aren't they? That tension, innovation versus ethics, machine versus human artistry, that feels like the heart of it. So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is this. As AI becomes more and more capable, as it becomes this collaborator in the music we hear every day, how does that change how you think about art, about originality, even that emotional connection you feel to a song? And what part do we play as listeners, as creators, maybe even just as fans, in shaping what that future sounds like? Something to think about.